Hello, this is Megha Pandre and today we will be doing second part of the poem, The School Boy. So let's begin with the explanation part. Now here we will continue with the fourth part of the paragraph from the poem, The School Boy. Now in this stanza, the speaker questions the reader. He pleads with whoever is listening. Now this is the introduction part of the paragraph, fourth paragraph, and then we will go through the poem line by line. He pleads with whoever is listening and asks how a bird that is born for joy, referring to himself or others that think like him, he asks to sit in a cage and sing. He knows that he was made to learn, read, and write, but he cannot do so in school, a place he considers equal to a cage. Okay, now we will go through with the reading part. So this is what there in the fourth paragraph. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? So here, how can a bird that who is born to sing and fly into the open air can enjoy the cage and sing in the cage? How can a child when fear means terror and annoy means irritates. Then how can a boy who is irritated is always in fear when he is in school and want to go out in a summer morning but drop his tender wings? Drop means let fall and forget his youthful spring. Youthful means young and spring means the season after winter and before summer in which the vegetation began to appear. Now the child is being compared to the bird where he drops his tender wings, as here the poet wants to enjoy like a bird in the sky rather than he is made to sit in the classroom. Now we will move on with the fifth paragraph of this poem, and first with the introduction, what is there in this paragraph. In the fifth stanza, the schoolboy, the speaker turns to address his parents, as he sees them like the one that could possibly change this situation. If one, he can convince them to see things his way. In this stanza, he presents them with the reason why they should not force him to go to school. Now, he speaks about his own childhood joy as being bud that is being nipped and blossom that are blown away. His happiness is delicate like the tender plant, and he should not have to be subject to sorrow and care's dismay at his young age. He need not feel so unhappy when he is only a child. Okay, so this is what is there in this paragraph. So here we will continue. O father and mother, if buds are nipped and blossoms blown away. Now, underline the word nip. Nip means to take off by pinching. Here you can see this is how the buds are being removed either by pinching or with this instrument. Buds, what are called buds, is a small part of a plant that develops into a flower. Now, the poet tells his parents, O father and mother, if you pluck the birds, then how the flower will blossom? If you will remove the buds, then how come it will bloom into a flower? If you will remove these buds at the very beginning stage, then how it will blossom into a flower? And if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in their springing day. Strip means removed. If you will remove these tender plants, because on these tender plants itself you can see the flower. But if you are removing these tender plants itself, then how come the buds will appear? Now strip means removed, and if the tender plants are being removed from the plant in their spring days by sorrow and care, dismay, then how the happy days of spring will come. Sorrow means here What is the meaning of sorrow? Sorrow means unhappiness, and dismay means concern and distress caused by something unexpected. So in this line here, then how the happy days of spring will come. In spring season, there are flowers everywhere, but if the birds are taken off, then how would flower appear in the spring season? So during the spring season, this is the condition of the garden. But if you will remove the bud itself, then how it will blossom. Now we will move on with the sixth paragraph. In the sixth stanza, what is there in the sixth stanza? We will go through the introduction. Now, in this part, fifth, sixth stanza happen if he is indeed stripped of his joy and given sorrow in return. Then how can his parents expect the appearance of fruits in the summer? They should, he states, worry that thus, due to their choices, he will never be the same. He will be unable to stand the blast of winter when they appear. While the poem has appeared in the Song of Experience, this child has yet to reach an age in which he will truly feel sorrow or despair. His youthful appeal will fall on deaf ears. So this was the introduction of the paragraph. Now we will move on with the line by line explanation. How shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? So after the spring season, after the flowers which have arrived, the next stages of the fruits, then how the fruits will appear? If you will remove these buds from the plants. In the absence of a happy childhood, we shall have a winter of sorrow. The summer of joy will never be there. So if you will remove these buds at the very beginning stage during the spring season, then how come these fruits will appear during the summer season? So this is what the poet was trying to appeal to even his parents, that he is not enjoying his studies. He wants to study, but he is not enjoying by sitting in the school. So here I end up with the explanation part of the poem. Till then, goodbye.